Hello, everyone. I welcome you all to the orientation session of financial reporting for my September 2024 batch. Before I proceed, I just need a quick confirmation whether my voice is audible, it's clear, and my video and my screen is also visible. Just give me a quick confirmation in the chat box, and we are good to go. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Okay. So I'm sure there are students who are probably not aware about me, and there are students who also know about me. So just a quick background about myself. I'm Aaisha Faisal. I am a ACCA and CPA Canada member myself. I am in the teaching industry and I've been teaching ACCA for now good more than 10 years. Well, teaching industry more than 10 years, and ACCA I would be saying consistently every quarter for almost about 5 to 6 years now. I have had the opportunity to right now train students for more than 3,000 students I've trained up until now in my 6 to 7 years of teaching. Now, currently, I am working in the capacity of a senior financial analyst at KPMG. And in the past, I've also happened to work in the top CA firms in India, where I've been fortunate enough to work with clients from various industries. A quick short background about me achieving my ACCA and CPA Canada credentials. Now, there's one very beautiful thing about ACCA, that ACCA has memorandums signed with various other bodies, other accountancy bodies of different countries. So, basis which, if you finish your ACCA membership, and if there is an existing MRA between ACCA and the other accountancy body, you are in a position to get the membership of that other accountancy body as well. Now, basis this only, I was able to claim the CPA Canada membership because back then ACCA had the memorandum signed with Canada. Okay. Now, in your case, guys, right now the ACCA and CPA Canada membership has expired. The memorandum has expired. So you all still have the opportunity to avail UAE ACCA. After you finish your regular ACCA, you can become a UAE if you opt or if you apply for it. Now you don't have to go through rigorous exam studies or rigorous, models to attain that next degree. You just have to probably go through some local taxation rules of that country. It could be as easy as an open book test, and you will be in a position to get that certification. Okay, so there was a recent memorandum with Singapore as well. So you would be in a very likable employability position for Singapore as well if you avail that, right? So there were about 2 to 3 memorandums. I would want you all to go and check it out and see if it is of your, relevant interest. Accordingly, you all can, make the decision making, because I understand that FR is an entry point for so many of you all for ACCA. So many of you all are not even aware of the, basic facilities or basic things that the ACCA is providing you all with. So other than, of course, getting the advantage of finishing your ACCA membership, there are these advantages as well. Okay, now moving ahead, why are you all studying financial reporting? Why are you all giving 3 months of your life for this subject? What's the purpose? Of course, one is why you all are all in this course is because you all want to attain the ACCA membership. No denial from that. But is it of help in the real world, and how is it helpful in the real world? Yes, of course. If you have entered into commerce stream, if you have trying to attain a professional credential which is of such prestige like ACCA, then of course it is of use in the real world, right? And specifically, this financial reporting subject is going to be helpful in the real world and is going to help you if you are in a shoe of an accountant, if you are a consultant, if you're a financial analyst. Now, this is not the exhaustive list, but these are one of the most common positions that I'm quoting in front of you all. That if these are the roles you're doing, or if this is what you're planning to do, for sure, financial reporting is that knowledge which is going to, equip you to perform these roles. Okay, and again, a disclaimer: this is not exhaustive list. This is just one of few of the common roles that I'm talking about. Why? Because being in accounting, you have to pass journal entries, you have to make ledgers, you have to do the finalization of accounts, meaning you have to prepare profit and loss statement, you have to make balance sheet. Accountant would have to do that. So yes, you are going to get prepared for that in financial reporting. You're doing all of that. As a consultant, you are to be in a position to be able to give advice whenever there is a client who's stuck with some element in terms of, say, accountancy related or financial reporting, making of financial statements, presenting a particular data in the financial reporting statements. If the client is stuck, you are in a position, in that expert position, to look at the scenario and guide your client. Okay. And of course, financial analyst also has similar kind of things to do, which is preparing of financial statements, preparing of schedules. Again, as a, you might get into the role of a consultant and advise the industry that you're working in, the management your work, the management team that you're working with. So yes, this is what is the relevance in the real world. Okay. So I want you all to give your 3 months, not just from the academic perspective, not just that you're trying to crack a ACCA degrees while you're doing this, but also in the real world, how much beneficial it is. And of course, story doesn't end here. I want to talk a little more about how it is going to help you. So one thing is going to help you get expertise on IFRS, a very important word, IFRS. Anyone knows the full form of IFRS? Can you type it in the chat box and tell us what is the full form of IFRS? I'm sure if you have entered ACCA, you'll have heard about IFRS. What is IFRS? Even if you want to like specialize in financing or taxation, IFRS is something most of us have heard of, right? No one? Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, guys. So that's right, Gail, Merlin, Shibu. That's International Financial Reporting Standards. Okay, IFRS are International Financial Reporting Standards, meaning you're not learning local laws, you're not learning national laws, which will just benefit you in your region or in your country. But the moment you get expertise on IFRS, you actually become a global CA, you become a global chartered accountant, not just by IFRS. Of course, there's a combination of IFRS and few other subjects that you want to, get a hold on. But if you're talking merely about financial reporting, if you're talking about preparing financial statements, doing the analysis, taking decision making from the financial statements, then yes, expertise over IFRS, doing this FR, and then doing a professional level of IFRS, which is SPR, is going to bring you in that position where you will become very attractive globally, okay, as a CA. You're going to increase your employability chances highly, okay. Second, you don't even have to wait to finish ACCA. If you finish FR, if you get expertise over IFRS, you can even talk about, or you can even show it as a medal in your CV that you have expertise over IFRS knowledge, okay. What is IFRS? Okay, if I talk about it international and it being having so much attraction around the globe and all, what is the IFRS? Now understand that for sure, if you all from commerce backgrounds, you know what financial reports are. Financial reporting is, what are financial statements? Basically, every company, look around you, there are so many companies running, right? All the companies who are listed, who are trading on the public platform, their shares, they have a compulsion to present their financial statements in public eye. So what is the financial statement? It is the P&L, it is the balance sheet, it is the cash flow, it is the statement of changes in equity, it is the notes to accounts, but mainly we'll talk about PL and balance sheet. So there is an obligation, if you are dealing your shares in the open market on the public platform, you have to present your PL and balance sheet. And in today's time, me as an investor, I would not look at companies just around in my region or in my country. Me as an investor, I'm so much aware about companies doing well in so many other countries like Germany, US, Spain, France, Russia, China, Japan. So many other countries we know has companies who have started from scratch and are big names in the international market. So why would I want to restrict my investment just to my country, just to companies in my country? So investors have become very global, have become very open-minded. Because of that, there is a necessity that not just financial statements, the PL, the balance sheet, which is probably the performance statement, meaning this is going to give the performance of the company, that how did the company performed in a particular year, what profit, what expense the company made in the current year, what is the net profit or the net loss, okay, the performance of the company in that particular 1 year. And what is balance sheet giving us? The net worth of the company, meaning how much is the worth of the company at the particular date, at that year end. take all assets, remove all liabilities. What is the worth that the company has? Today, take all your assets, pay off your liabilities, whatever loans you have. Whatever still remains is your worth, right? So, what is the worth that balance sheet will paint the picture? What is the performance that profit and loss will paint the picture? So, companies have the obligation, if they are on the public platforms trading their shares, to present their PL and balance sheet. And me as an investor, when I am investing, like I said, I'm not just interested in local investments, I'm interested in global investments. So, I would want to look at financial statement and make a fair decision. Now, when can I make a fair decision? When can I make a right decision, an informed decision? When the financial statement of a company, probably in Germany, is also comparable with the financial statement of a company which is in Australia, right? So it has to be all financial statements of companies of different countries has to be comparable. And when can they be comparable? When can that magic happen? When can they be comparable? When they are made on a common set of standards. When they're made on a common set of standards or laws. And that's why IFRS comes in picture. Earlier, just you go behind just few years ago, every country had their local standards. They would use their local gap, generally accepted accounting principle, to make financial statements. Beat any country. But in the past, I would say almost few years down the line, like 6 to 7 years, a vast change has come, and so many countries have moved from their local standards to IFRS. The status of every country is different. More than 150 countries has adopted IFRS. Some have completely copy pasted it. Some has completely copy pasted it. Some has taken a huge chunk of IFRS and just tweaked a little element out of it. So either they have removed certain laws and added their own laws, but that's just like a 5% tweak. So either complete copy pasting has happened or a little bit of tweaking has happened. But this is the case with more than 150 countries. So understand the chances of your employability if you learn something like ACC. I'm not just talking about ACC, but something as good as ACC, which is that global, then that definitely increases your employability chances. This is just one aspect that I'm trying to bring to you. So that's something I already spoke about. Now, one more thing, that IFRS is also close to US GAAP. I told you that these 150, there are 150 countries, either they have copy pasted it or they have tweaked it. What is the case with US now? US, however, has not copy pasted nor tweaked IFRS. They still continue to use their US GAAP. What is GAAP? Generally accepted accounting principles, which I told you that just few years ago, every country had their own GAAP. But US is one country which is still not shifted to IFRS, and they're still using their generally accepted accounting principles. Now, IFRS, the International Financial Reporting Standards, are issued by IASB. It is the standard setting board of IFRS. Same way, the US GAAP has its board, which is FASB. Okay. Now, they both have their own independent boards. So what happens is, even if you learn IFRS, does it make you irrelevant in the US market as a CA? No, that's not the case. US definitely has its own degrees in CA, in finance, or whatever. But just by doing ACCA, does it make you a lot irrelevant in the US market? No, that's not the case. The deal is, whenever ISB issues a new standard or FASB issues a new standard, they both consult with each other. They both consult with each other. Okay, so they still want to be a lot hand in hand. That way, so many standards are still common between IFRS and US GAAP. The codification could be different, the numbering style, things like those could be different, but a lot what the standard says, what the standard implies, the theme of the standards is a lot same. Many standards which are very important in nature, like IFRS 15, in your IFRS and in US GAAP, are so very much same. I think they are almost 99.9%, I would say they are same. So when you say you know IFRS, you are a little bit on a safe place to say, you know what, I know US GAAP also. Now, the good thing is that if you really confidently want to say that you know US GAAP, or you know IND AS, IND AS are Indian accounting standards. So if you want to say such things, you probably have to just learn the few differences, which are very minor in nature. Like I said, they're probably just 5% or less than that. But otherwise, even if you don't do the 5%, you are in a position to say that, yes, you know that other set of standards, because like I said, there's very minor differences out there. Okay, so this is the relevance of financial reporting, meaning one, what exactly it is revolving around. So I told you all it's IFRS and what's the importance of IFRS and what is the spread of this IFRS globally. Okay, two important things. Now, paper pattern. For all those who are not doing this ACCA subject for the first time, especially the skill level paper, have some idea around it, that how a skill level paper pattern is like. But I understand, like I said, I am aware for most of you all, this is FR is the entry point, because this is one of the easy papers or one of the highly suggested papers to do while you're entering ACCA. You all probably are not aware of the paper pattern. So this is a 3-hour paper. It's a 100-mark paper and it's a 50-mark passing required. There are other examinations where I can see that 40 marks are required. That's not the case with ACCA. They require you 50 marks to pass. Okay. Now, what is the structure of paper? How or what kind of questions should you expect from you? So it's designed very nicely. There are 3 sections out of here, over here, in which 15 questions worth 2 marks each will be objective type. Okay, meaning it could be MCQs, multiple choice questions, it could be true or false, it could be fill in the blank. So the input is something that you already probably have an option of, or it's a one-word answer that you're typing. They are not discursive elements. Okay, they're not discursive elements. Examiner cannot see your workings, he can just see your final input. The second section, section B, will have multiple task questions, empty questions. There'll be three multiple task questions and 5 sub questions in each. So this is going to become another 30-mark area. This is going to become another 30-mark area. Now here you will have just a small case study, out of which 5 sub questions are coming. So those 5 questions will be from the case study. Normally I've seen that there is a ratio where 3 questions will be numerical. From those 5 sub questions, 3 questions will be numerical, 2 questions will be theory. So it's a good split, because theory is something either you know or you don't know. When you're reading the theory, either you have the answer or you don't have the answer. So that's not something where a lot of time is invested. But numerical is something where you need a little bit time, right? So in that 5 mark, 2 mark is theory, which which gives you a lot of time to solve the numerical elements carefully. Okay. Next, your section C is a constructed response questions. Now, ACCA is preparing you for the real world roles, which means it is not allowing you to use pen and paper. Okay, it's making you do the exam on your computer and making you use the softwares which are more relevant in the real world. For example, you all know that Excel becomes very relevant if you're trying to become a CA, right? So you have a replica of Excel. There is a spreadsheet given to you in the exam. Track questions like making financial statements for a company or for group company, right? A single financial statement, like a single PL or a single balance sheet, or a combined PL and a combined balance sheet for a group. All those kind of questions you have to do on a spreadsheet which is given in the exam. So this is preparing you for the real world roles. Now, what we see is in the real world, there are so many interns who enter in the market to work, their first job, and unfortunately, throughout their schooling, high schooling, they have not used a lot of Excel. So they struggle with the typing, they struggle with the shortcuts. Now, if you do this exam practice on Excel, the question practice on Excel, that kind of gap will not be there when you enter the work market. So that way, APP is very relevant. So 2 constructed response questions. One could be on single entity, which is preparing financial statements for just one company, or it could also be for group company. So this is 50% chance for single entity, probability 50% chance for group. Okay, this is one question that will be tested. The second question is a for sure interpretation question. Okay, meaning you have to look at the financial statements of the company, remove ratios, and interpret the results, whether the company is doing bad performance-wise, position-wise, check every element, scrutinize it. So you're not just at the level of preparing financial statements. You're not just a preparer, but you are analyzing also, which is a higher level role, which is a managerial role. So you're getting prepared for decision making also, managerial role as well. That's the beauty of FR. Okay. So that's a sure short question. This I would say is a 99.9%. You see, you pick up every past paper, this is coming. Okay, this is coming. Now, connection of the papers. Few students have already done knowledge level paper called financial accounting, FA, right? And are then coming to FR. A few students have not done financial accounting, so you might panic thinking that, okay, you know what about the brought forward knowledge or FA? You don't have it. Don't worry. I am not assuming in financial reporting that you have any knowledge at all. I'm assuming that you are a fresher, you're a clean slate, you're probably coming from science background and you know nothing about accounting at all. So I will try to give you all knowledge from that scratch level. Okay. Meaning I'm not going to assume you know the rules of debit credits, anything at all. Okay. And I'm going to try to explain you everything from scratch. Okay. Basically, we already have pre-recorded sessions and everything has been done from scratch. Okay. So in financial accounting, you're introduced to the IFRS at first level. Okay, at first level, meaning there are standards definitely, and there is a lot of basic ideas being drilled like journal entries and all will be drilled a lot. There'll be basic standards, and the standards will not be in depth. Okay, standards will not to be in depth. But in financial reporting, it's IFRS at the second level where you will build upon FA standards. Okay, meaning if I-16 is a standard taught to you in financial accounting, then in FR there are more elements, new elements which were not discussed in FA that will be spoken of. Okay. Also in FR, what is going to happen is some new standards will also be introduced. Okay. New standards will also be introduced. So what happens in SBR? SBR is your professional level paper, which is probably at your third level, the highest level of IFRS that you're learning in ACCA, where again you build upon FA standards. For example, in FR you do leases, but you just do leases from lessee's perspective, from one perspective. You don't do two perspective. You don't do a lessee and a lessor both. But in SBR, again, you will build upon the FR standard. Okay, whatever you've learned in FR, you will learn much more to that. Pick up any standard like revenue, your leases, your financial instruments, a lot more you're going to learn compared to FR. And it's not just not just numbers. In fact, numbers would just form probably 30% of your paper. Remaining 70 would be discursive element. You're discussing the numbers. This is something new. In SPR, this is something new. This you are not done in FR. You're discussing numbers. You're writing a lot around the interpretation of these numbers. What these numbers mean. How did you get the number? What method is valid? What method is not valid? A lot you are going to, write instead of just calculation. So this is the difference in each level. And at each level in VIFHE, we are never going to assume that you know the previous levels. We'll give you material which will help you build on from scratch. Don't worry. Now, what is the method? How do we train? Okay, how do we train? So one, we use a blend model, meaning we do live question practice also. Okay, on Sundays, I'll be doing live question practice with you all, and you will also have access to all the pre-recorded material. All the standards, everything that is there, that is needed is already pre-recorded. Questions are also pre-recorded. I'll flash what questions are already out there. But other than whatever is already pre-recorded on Sundays, 6 Sundays, we will have live question practice. And other than those 6 Sundays, we are going to have 2 rigorous webinars where we will drill questions and questions back to back. And we'll have one more revision session where we'll try to discuss on maximum standards in one day, maximum standards in one day. Okay. Now, what are the timelines for video lecture, or what about timelines? It's a very important, element, because this is not a 100% live study, which means this Sunday you will learn a particular chapter, or that Sunday you come live session and I'm teaching a particular session. Everything pre-recorded has been given to you from day one, right? So how do you follow the timelines? There is a planner that is going to be shared with you all, and you have to stick to the timelines. Now, before the Sunday where I'm going to drill the live sessions, you will have to already watch the material for that and come. Otherwise, you will not understand the questions that I'm practicing. Okay. So timelines is something that needs to be retained. Next, the focus is very exam oriented, meaning many exam style questions are drilled, not something where just for the sake of doing question practice we will do question practice. No, exam style, the one which you will see in the exam paper, those kind of questions will be drilled, not just for the sake of example. I'll create some examples, and that's not the level of questions you will see in the exam. No, that's not the case. The level of questions done in the class is the level of questions in the exam. Unfortunately, we see this kind of gap in many courses where we learn a particular concept, we like it, we love it, and we are able to crack the questions. But when you go in the exam, there is a huge gap. The question that's come in the exam is not something of our level, not something that we have seen earlier, right? That's a problem. That's a huge bridge that's not, crossed. Okay, that's a gap in the course. So that gap you won't see over here. We will try to crack as many questions from Study Hub as we can. Now, understand one thing, that just few quarters ago, I would say 2 quarters ago, there were two players in the market, Kaplan and BPP, whose published material was highly used for question practice, highly used. Okay, but there was again a gap that there were questions which are in Kaplan. The type, I'm not talking about every question should be in BPP and every BPP question should be in Kaplan. The type of those questions, Kaplan questions, they'll be missing in BPP, and BPP would be missing in Kaplan. So you do one textbook, but you won't get a whole coverage, right? There'll be surprise elements. There'll be many surprise elements still in the exam. Now, Study Hub will close that gap for you. What is Study Hub? Study Hub is the platform launched by ACCA about 2 quarters ago, which will have questions, or rather has questions, which are so much same to the exam style questions. So when you do Study Hub, there is very less surprise material. There is very less surprise material. Okay, so I have a question from student who's asking, is Kaplan and BPP enough? See, Kaplan and BPP is enough to pass, but if you do Kaplan and BPP, there'll be a lot of surprise elements that you will see in the exam. You'll be like, okay, you know what? A new style of question has come. I want to crack something like this. Many questions you will stumble upon where you will get the same feel. But if you do Study Hub, which I'm saying is the free platform provided by ACCA for notes, for your question practice, then very less surprise material is there. Hardly any surprise material is there. Because ACCA examiners who are setting the paper, the one who are providing post material, there is overlap, right? There is a similar team sitting out there, right? So the one who's preparing that question practice are also probably preparing the paper. So is why that gap is less. Highly suggested, instead of BPP and Kaplan, do the Study Hub questions 2 to 3 times. Okay, do the Study Hub questions 2 to 3 times instead. Like I said, I am not highly recommending you to do a Kaplan and a BPP. Reason, whatever Kaplan and BPP style is there should be covered in Study Hub, but there's also more to that, which is exam style. Okay, so I will not suggest to do 3 books. I will suggest just do Study Hub 2 to 3 times. But still, if you're so much used to doing a Kaplan and BPP, fine. By all means, do it. It's okay. It's not that that's not something recommended, or I will not like allow you to use it. No, it's not like that. You can use a BPP and Kaplan, but Study Hub is at top today in the market. It's free. One, it's free. Second, it's very close to your real exam. So why would you want to purchase a BPP or a Kaplan book? Rather, just do it from Study Hub. If you're looking to pass, if you're looking to score good marks, Study Hub is the key. If you're looking to rank, ace, top the charts, then yes, the more practice you do, the better it is. So after Study Hub, go to Kaplan. After Kaplan, go to, okay, if that's it. Now, understand that here in this IFRS course, we are learning very numerous standards, right? We are learning many standards. So how do we remember that knowledge? How do we retain that knowledge? You watch a lecture, throughout the week, you'll watch multiple lectures. You will watch like go to 3 to 4 standards. How do you retain that knowledge till the exam day? You've probably invested like good 6, 7 hours while watching the lecture. You wouldn't want to waste those 6, 7 hours of your life, right? You wouldn't want to waste it. You would want to retain them till exam date. Now we want some easy way to do it. I would not want to. Today I watched a lecture on I-16, IFRS 5, IS 40. I gave 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to give 6 hours again in the next week, and then again in the next week, and again in the next week. I would want to have a shortcut method to retain all that. So best is I am providing you all with cheat sheets, which are one pager notes. After you have watched the lecture, you just have that one sheet to remember all that knowledge. Okay. So every day, just glance at that sheet for 2 to 3 minutes. Just quickly give a read. And that's enough. Just a 2 to 3 minute read to that one chapter, one standard is enough to retain it till the exam day. Trust me, that knowledge is going to get engraved in your head, engraved at the top of your mind. And it's not, you might be like, okay, why do I give 2 minutes to every standard? I just have to crack this exam. Why this effort is required? See, if not this effort, then again you will end up watching that 6, 7 hours before exam. Okay, or maybe some other time. That is a lot more compared to just giving these 2 to 3 minutes. Second, trust me, in the real world, when we work and when we have individuals or colleagues who are able to, whenever there is an issue, accounting issue, or whenever there is a advice required, if there are individuals in the team who are able to give a suggestion, but give a suggestion by quoting the standard that, okay, if there is a way, in a certain way, IS-16, property, plant, and equipment has to get recorded in the balance sheet. Maybe wrong accounting has been done. There is a team member who's highlighting that the correct accounting is so and so. But if the team member is able to quote, I-16 property, plant, and equipment is a standard which says this is the requirement, which says this is what is to be done. If the team member is able to quote it, not just say from vague memory that I think IFRS standard requires, but clearly with confidence able to quote it, there is a very different impact of you in the team. Trust me, there's a very different impact of you in the team. You'll be highly recognized, you'll be highly regarded, you'll become a more trustworthy source, right? So yes, cheat sheets are not just for exam purposes, but in the real world also you can have it, you can retain it printed. It's worth printing. Those cheat sheets, one page notes that I'm giving all are worth printing. Print them, keep them. Real world also very useful. Second, those who don't like hard copies and are who like to use everything as soft copies in their mobile phones, no problem. Take screenshots of it, let it be in your gallery. Keep gliding through it every day. Whenever you're traveling, we know we end up wasting a lot of time in traveling, right? So of course we are Netflixing, we are YouTubing or whatever. But if you just give your 10 minutes of the day to just go through these cheat sheets, it's more than enough. It's going to help you engrave the requirements of the standards, all those 6, 7 hours of watching just shrunk into one page. Okay. Now, one more thing in this course, or rather, I would say every course of VIFHE, is that we provide you with one mock that we will check. Me as a tutor will check for you, not my assistant, not my team, but I will check with you. Basis the parameters of ACCA. Whatever are the parameters of ACCA, I will explain to you all. And basis those parameters, I will check it. Okay, there's a concept of OFR, own figure rule, which means that even if your answer is wrong, you will still get marks. Okay, so if I am checking, I will keep that OFR rule in mind. I will keep the PAG rule in mind, previously awarded grade rule in mind, and I will also check just like how your ACCA examiner will check. So your score will be a lot close to the real world score that you could have gotten. Okay, now what is OFR rule in detail? I'll explain you all someday. Don't worry. But that's a one very beautiful rule of ACCA basis, which you will still get marks if you have a wrong answer. Stay tuned. There'll be videos coming up in which I will explain. Now, grand revision. I explained you all that we have a grand revision session. One session is on all standards, revising maximum standards we can. 2 sessions we will do on exam style questions. There I will try to take the most recent paper, whatever ACCA body is publishing, the most recent paper, we'll crack that. Okay, so any good questions, just say from about roughly from 5 to 8 questions will be discussed. 20 marker, 30 marker questions we'll drill together. So that's a good revision boot camp in itself for you. If you've not studied throughout the year, throughout the month, but if you attend the revision session, although it's a good eye opener for you, it's a good jump that you will get in the syllabus. Okay, please, all this is there. Now, I want to just show you all one cheat sheet, how it looks like. So you can see I have flashed away IS 16 property, plant and equipment. Now, this is a lot. When I am explaining this chapter, there is a lot that goes into it, okay? But all those key pointers are brought to one page. Now, this one page is more than enough to remember all that I have done in that 4-hour lecture, okay? All that I've done, just one sheet is enough. When you will be able to make sense out of this sheet just by reading it? No. If you've watched that lecture and immediately after watching, if you've looked at this sheet, you will be able to relate with every word, with every sentence in the sheet. And then the next day, you just give a 2-minute glance, and every day, just a 2-minute or a 1-minute glance, and you're good. You're good to crack sums at any given point of time. So, okay, so mocks, you're just going to have one corrected mock from my side. But of course, highly recommended, practice as many mocks as you can. You have a platform called CBEPT. CBEPT is a platform designed by ACCA body again, where there are many practice papers of FR, there are many past papers of FRs, where there is the real exam feel, look and feel, the exact spreadsheet that's going to be on the exam date available, the exact word space that's going to be available on the exam date, that's out there. So you have to get the taste of that medicine that is going to be there on the exam date. Instead of just going on the exam date and getting a surprise, a shock that, oh, this is how the exam virtual screen looks like, you have to go to the CBPT and at least practice good 4 questions on CBPT, 2 on spreadsheet, 2 on Word. Go practice it there. So you will get the hang of the real exam. Okay. So yeah, the question by you guys was that do you all have more mocks? Yes, on CBPT go, there are already prepared mocks out there. Practice papers, past papers, pre-mock papers, everything is out there. One mock I will correct. Okay, that will be discussed which mock paper I will correct. Okay. Next is what question we have? So I have a question, ma'am. I'm doing only study hub. Is that enough? Yes. Just doing study hub, doing the section A type questions, section B type questions, and the section C type questions from study hub is enough for you to pass with good marks. Not just pass, but pass with good marks. These cheat sheets, I would want you all to print and keep it. If y'all don't like hard copies, then y'all will put it in soft copies. Okay. Exam kits. So like I said, that I will recommend you all to practice from the study hub, which is free Garima, which is a free exam kit on ACCA body. But if you still like to do something from VIFHE and Kaplan, then on the group, go to the FR group description over there. You already have material of Kaplan study text and Kaplan study kit freely available. But again, highly recommended. Don't do that. Instead of that, go to your study hub and use that. Okay. I have students feedback. So, like I said, this was just introduced 2 quarters ago, this kind of study hub material. So never in the exam it happened that a student is saying, you know what, I finished my 15 minutes early. The paper was finished 15 minutes early, and I was able to check for the remaining 15 minutes. No. Students are always mostly short of time because it's a competitive exam. You're racing for 3 hours continuously to score the maximum you can get in that 100 mark. And there are so many numericals to do. So it's tough to finish the paper in 3 hours. Normally, either you finish very neck to neck, you finish either the 100% paper, or you tend to leave 5 mark, 10 mark, whatever. Never I have heard students saying that 15 minutes early we have finished, 20 minutes early we have finished. But 2 quarters ago, it was the first time where students came and told us that we finished the paper roughly about 40 minutes early, 1 hour early. That was an extreme shocker. That was an extreme shocker. It's never happened only because these were the students who studied from ACCA Study Hub and went. These were the students who studied from ACCA Study Hub and went, and they said the surprise element when you study from Study Hub and in the exam is minimized to a next level. Okay, is minimized to a next level. Now, I want to discuss about the study plan. How are we going to study this entire course till the exam date? I hope you all are aware that your exam is on 4th of September. Now we're going to start with the asset family. So we will cover good important standards of asset family till mid of June. Till mid of June. Can you see over here? Till not sorry, not mid of June. Yeah, 22nd, right? And I have a live lecture. Okay, yeah. So that's almost mid of June till third week it will extend. But then you will have consolidation starting. So consolidation is something that you will have to roughly end it by 5th of July. So consolidation family. Consolidation is a huge topic in itself. Okay. So this is something that we're planning to finish by 5th of July, which is the first week of July, which is good because by first week of July, you already have the knowledge to crack the 20-mark question. See, 20-mark questions are a little difficult in nature. You need a lot of knowledge to crack it. So by first week of July, you already have the knowledge to crack the first 20-mark questions. So whatever questions are there, the 20-mark, you can already go and crack consolidation type of. Okay. Now, after that, you will end up cracking small chapters, which will be required to do your single entity question. This is another 20-mark question. Okay, so leases, financial instruments, taxation, revenue. You need all these chapter knowledge to do a single entity financial statement. So this again, by your roughly by 20th July, you have the knowledge for single entity. Okay, which means you are in a position to do the second 20-mark question by 20th July. Second 20-mark question, which is good. Okay. Then by 26th July, that is the third week of July, you're doing interpretation of cash flows and interpretation of financial statements. This is your ratio. This is your ratios. This is the compulsory question. Then when are you in the position to do this? Last week of July. Okay. You still have full 1 month of August to go. Okay, but by the time you reach the July month end, you are already having the knowledge of doing consolidation question, single entity question, and ratio question. This is very important. It's important that your chapter order is in such a manner because if you don't start the consolidation at an early stage, if you don't start this at an early stage, and if you started basis how the index of your books are, if you check your BTP Kaplan study up, consolidation is introduced towards the end. The problem is consolidation is one of the most complex topic of any course you take, not just ACCA, you're doing accountancy for any other, local body, national body, whatever. Consolidation is the most difficult topic. If I touch this towards the end, the way it is in the index design, where there are very little days left for the exam, the students tend to get in a panic mode because introducing difficult topic towards the end, you are not able to absorb it. Okay. If I do it at the starting, at the beginning, when your mind is fresh, you're able to absorb this better. You're not in a panic situation. You're very comfortable for doing difficult elements. You're very comfortable. You're picking faster. You're grasping it faster. And by the time exam time is coming, you already have an expertise over it. It's not newly introduced. You have expertise over it. Okay. So that kind of consolidation, rigorous practice we will do every week for good 2 to 3 weeks. We will come on the Sundays and discuss the difficult elements of the question practiced in the week. Okay, I have a lot of pre-recorded material done over here. So you will watch those lectures. You will first do it by yourself, then watch those lectures. Any doubts on Sundays we will discuss. So there is a very rigorous mechanism to get control. Okay. Now there are other standards which are shorter in nature, or I wouldn't say less important, but they're just short in nature. So that by 10th of August, we'll get a hang over it. Okay, by 10th of August. Then from 10th of August till 16th of August, you roughly have about 6 days. So you have 1 week before we enter into the revision. Okay. Last is your revision week. So you have 1 week before you enter into the revision week, after which your webinars, grand revision, mock corrections, mocks, debriefs, everything starts. Okay. This is a solid plan out there. Now, I'm going to, you'll know that at VIFHE, mostly it's all pre-recorded and there are few live sessions as well. So the section C questions are a little difficult because that's a lot of knowledge with which you're cracking, right? They're very difficult in nature. compared to section A and B type. And I am going to give you already pre-recorded from day one these 21 questions. These 21 questions which are section C type. You already have section A and section B type on the portal, but other than that, 21 questions section C type you already have from day one. Now, other than this, on the live sessions, on the webinars, more questions will be drilled. More questions, not just this much more. But this is pre-recorded section C 20 marker available with you. Section A and B is there, but this is just the 20 mark list that I'm flashing. Okay, roughly nine questions on consolidation, 5 questions on single entity, 7 questions on ratios. That's good numbers. And before I just get into how we teach at VIFHE, or yeah, let me just give you a glance of how we teach at VIFHE. I already explained you all that recorded session is one that I use. We'll also have live sessions on Sundays. You all will have e-notes. So other than cheat sheets, you'll also have notes on Word. After doing every topic, you will know which question to practice. That will be written out there. You have a TTA model in which you will learn through test your understanding, the TU. I will give you all sums, you all will crack and then come and watch a video on it where I'm showing you all how to correct your answers. So that there is a test yourself. There is a test yourself on the CVEPT platform, practicing over there. And then there is an assignment. So 6 assignments and six assignments and 6 test your understanding will be given to you. Now, one mock I already explained you, grand revision I've explained you, performance tracking through gamification model. Now, what is this gamification model? What is performance tracking? Okay. So one, understand that your performance is being tracked, how much lecture you're watching, how much assignment you're doing, all that will be flashed on the group in percentages. So your name will come against PPI 16, 20% watch, IS2, 50% watch. So it's comparable with every student. Gamification model meaning when you do your tasks on time, like watching, doing your assignments, doing your mock, doing your test yourself, you will start ending up with scores. You will start accumulating scores. And what's the benefit of that score? The score will help you with the discount in the next batch. Okay, it will help you with the discount in the next. So just take a screenshot of this if you want to join the batch, if you want to take help from the support team, whatever it is, just quickly, guys, take a screenshot of it. Now, one thing I want to show you all, this is your CVPT platform where you can go to financial reporting, go to ACCA Financial Resources, go to practice papers, you will get your practice paper 1, 2, pre-June mock. There is so much to do. There is so much to do when you're asking me how to practice mock or from where to get the mock. So much to practice. There's blank workspace where you have spreadsheet and Word access. Okay. Now, lastly, I just want to flash the VIFHE screen, how roughly it's going to look like. So towards the end, I'm going to share with you all pre-recorded 20 markers. So you have that list. You can always watch it whenever you all want to. And of course, other than this, you'll have your section A and B type questions as well. So this is my IS 16, as you can see. And over here, you can see that I have section A question practice from Study Hub 1 to 7. Section B question, which is a multiple task, shallow and during, already posted out, right? So this kind of work has already been done for quite few many standards. In the live session, for most standards we will do, so much is already pre-recorded for you. Okay, so from day one, if you're looking to rank, if you're looking to excel, if you're looking to pass, if you have the time, you have all the resources needed to do whatever you want. With time, it will just keep accumulating, you will keep getting more money. Okay. And like I said, doubt sessions are on Sundays. So whatever you watch, whatever you practice, any doubts, of course, you have support in the WhatsApp group. But other than WhatsApp group, Sundays is the day when we can come and discuss it out. How will you get the WhatsApp group link? Garima, are you asking me the free WhatsApp group or are you asking me the paid WhatsApp group? Both. Okay. So just hold on, guys. Just stay back for a minute and I will get all the free WhatsApp group link. Meanwhile, just take, like I said, take a screenshot of this. And from here, call the support number where you can take admission and get into the paid group, get into the paid course. Pretty much just give me a minute. Admin team will share. Shelly, for paid, like I said, I'm flashing the number in front of you. I hope you can see it. You have to contact that for admission.
Is this the WhatsApp group that is in the portal?
I think Shelly, you asked me a question. Was that Shelly or someone? Can you repeat the question? I was in touch with the admin team. Yeah, tell me.
Oh, I was asking if this is the WhatsApp group that's in the portal.
WhatsApp group that's on the portal. 1 second, let me just check. It could be high chances that the one they have posted already on the portal, the team, should be the one which is to the global one. Let me check. No. See, all those who are my paid students are going to be part of my paid course. For sure, you are part of my WhatsApp paid group. That's great. But try to become part of global group also, because there's a lot of learning that we get from other students as well, right? So yeah, just wait till I share the link. Yeah, so the one, Shelly, that you're talking about on the portal is the paid one. It's not the open. It's not open for everyone. I just check right now.
Okay, can you put it back up so I can take a picture?
I can't flash the paid group right now because you understand that everyone is out there right now, right? So I can't flash that right now. But the
Not the
open,
paid, the one that you had just now. That you had
yeah,
told us to take a screenshot.
yeah, because that's paid group. I can't share it already, Shelly. I can't share it. Like that access is only for paid students, the ones who have like paid fees and entered the course. That access is only for them. So I can't share that screen right now. Just wait. I have admin team giving me the link. I will share that.
I was talking about the global, not paid.
Okay, global. So that's not global, no, Shelly. What I shared right now was not global. That was paid. I'm just giving you the link for global.
Okay.
Okay, so that's out here on the chat group. I hope everyone can see it. Okay. I hope you all are successfully able to enter the group. Happy learning, whether you all are joining or not joining. Enjoy FR. FR is very interesting. And if you all are struggling to which subject to enter, if this is your first subject, by all means, confidently you can enter FR. Like I said, whether self-studying, whether joining VIFHE, whether joining whoever, FR is one of the comfort areas. So always try to keep the easy papers first. So you're motivated, you're finishing papers faster and then going on to next papers, climbing the ladder fast. Okay. So thank you, everyone. I end the day with this. Any feedbacks, please put in the chat box. We would want to know. I would want to know how the session was. It's SBR link. Okay. Why has the team sent SBR? Thanks for letting me know. Just wait, guys. That's wrongly the SBR link. Okay, the team is sending me the link. Meanwhile, any questions, anything you all want to ask, put in the chat box, unmute your mic and ask. That's okay. Yeah, are you study hub is enough. If you're cracking it 2 times, that's great. It's enough to pass. Practice questions, section A, section B, practice them all. It's enough. Okay, so I've shared another link. Please check. That should be your FR group link. All right. So guys, that's it. With this, we come to an end to the session. Just quick feedback will help me. How did you all find the session? Please put it in the chat box before leaving. And we are done for the day. Thank you, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Tomorrow? No, sorry, not tomorrow. That's almost our first session is on 16th. So see you all on 16th. Thanks, Ayub. Thanks, Gail, for the feedback. Bye-bye. Take care.